Yes, people, welcome back to the One True Red podcast. And tonight we are going to talk about some of the games that we've got coming up this week. But we're going to start with a topic that has been brought up. I think it's from Monday Night Football, where Carragher has some words to say about the African Nations Cup. So let's just start with what actually Carragher said. So basically, he was implying that the African Nations Cup is not a major tournament, and that's partly the reason why Mo Salah may not have had some votes to win the European Player of the Year so far. He was picked up by Micah Richards and by Daniel Sturridge at the time to say African Nations Cup is a big trophy. What are you talking about? Then Carragher, instead of saying, yes, I agree, he then doubled down on it. And he said some stuff on Twitter. So let me just read you that before we get into the chat. So what did he say on Twitter? Here we go. So Carragher says, let me just find it quickly. Salah is at a disadvantage playing for Egypt in terms of him winning the Ballon d'Or because I don't think African Nations Cup carries the weight of other tournaments. And it's not disrespectful if I feel the World Cup, European Championship and Copa America are better tournaments. It's just my thoughts. So guys, it's just his thoughts. What are our thoughts? Aki, I'm going to come to you first. African Nations Cup, major tournament or not?
I personally think it is a big tournament, but I don't disagree with his opinion. I think there's a lot of people out there that don't rate the AFCON as highly as the other tournaments that he's mentioned. I think it's an improving tournament. I think there's a lot of top players that play in it, and it's gaining the recognition. But if I'm honest, I can't necessarily say that there isn't a lot of people, even people within our own forum, who hold the same views. I mean, I've had a lot of criticisms about the pitches, the referees, the goalkeepers, etc., etc. So I think his opinions are quite widely held. I wouldn't say they're accurate, but I think they're widely held.
You say people in our forum, who name names?
I think people need to know where you're from as well, because
otherwise
you're talking on this subject and they might think that you're from a different continent.
Contrary to what Uche may think, I'm half Moroccan, which is in North Africa. North African teams tend to be the better teams anyway, like Egypt, Morocco, Tunisia, etc., etc.
That sounds like a Barb's comment towards you, Uche.
Yeah, well, that's something I'm not cutting straight. I'm minding my business. When it's my turn, I'll speak.
Speak. This is your turn.
Go, man. Go.
Okay. I know you've got chicken and chips to eat, but come on, speak up.
Right. So
just for the viewers' benefit, he's been munching on his food before we came online. So go on, Uche.
But I'm hungry, man. So on the comment is disappointing by Carragher, but I think he's just talking nonsense. And the reason why is pretty simple. About 3 years ago, I think it's 2022, Mane came, I believe, second or third in the Ballon d'Or. And that was 100% linked to his performance with Senegal taking it home. So unless Carragher, that's why he's not one of the voters. So when people say things that are not validated, we need to call them out on it, because I don't know.
He didn't win though, but he didn't win. So it doesn't negate what Carragher said. So basically, Mane did everything. So Mane basically single-handedly won Senegal the AFCON against Egypt. Actually, took them to the World Cup as well at the expense of Egypt. All of that, and he still didn't win Ballon d'Or. So I don't think what you just said takes away from what Carragher said. Like,
no,
if you do all of that, if you do all of that and you don't win it,
I don't mind being interrupted. But again, the person that won it was Karim Benzema, and the reason why he won is because they won the Champions League. Yeah. So it wasn't because
exactly what Carragher is saying, though. That's exactly what Carragher is saying.
That's not what he's saying. He started talking about the Euros and the Copa America. That's why I said he's misguided, right? The season why he won, the only reason why Mane came second. If Mane had won the Champions League that season, he boosts you up. Everybody knows the deal. If you the year of the World Cup, normally, and you win the Champions League, that's what really gets you the biggest boost. But he was making a comment that it's not about he was trying to diss the Euros. I'm trying to diss the AFCON, but then upgrade Euros and Copa. But I know for sure there's no way Carragher watches Copa America at 1-2 o'clock in the morning and comments on it, right? And also, if you talk about Copa America in detail, he actually only comes down to 2 countries, which is normally Brazil and Argentina. So what are we actually talking about? Is that actually a tournament? Is that actually a tournament to most of you? That's not a tournament.
So what? Are you saying the Champions League is bigger than AFCON then?
Of course it is. That's what I'm saying to you. Like, if you win the
You're saying
Champions
that
League,
Karim Benzema only won it.
yeah, that tends to, because obviously you know that Benzema was not playing for his national team for quite some time. So there's no question in my mind that Benzema won it because of his showing for Real Madrid and winning the Champions League. That's normally what brings it. So on the point that we're making, if you stay on subject, Salah would be huge favorite if he was to win the Champions League with Liverpool as well as the league. Right? That's going to be a massive.
I think that's what Carragher said initially when he spoke
like
about
I said, my
it.
criticism of him is that he tried to elevate the Copa America and the Euros and then dismiss AFCON. That's the problem I have with it.
No.
He said, wait, Aki. He said, what's his name? Messi. Salah is not going to play in the major tournaments. That's what he said. He's not playing in the major tournaments with Egypt. So he's essentially saying he's not going to get to the World Cup because Egypt tend to not qualify. And then he's saying AFCON is not a major tournament. That's basically what he was saying. Didn't say it in so many words, but then he came out afterwards to clarify, to say that he rates the other tournaments higher than AFCON.
Exactly.
Who here rates AFCON higher than the Euros?
I don't rate any different. You're representing your country and you are based where you're based. If you're Egyptian, you can only play in AFCON. You doesn't get to get a vote to play in the Euros. So I don't understand what point you're trying to make.
Okay, Aki, on that point, if you're growing up in Morocco, are you rating the Euros higher than the AFCON? You're not, are you?
That's a difficult question.
You're not, are you? No, if you're growing up in Argentina,
you're asking me a hypothetical question. I've already said I think AFCON is a big tournament. I watch it personally. I also watch the Asian Cup as well. Palestine, we got to the quarterfinals when it was in Doha the other year. But you have to be realistic when you talk about these things. There's a lot more money put into the Euros than there is in AFCON. The European leagues have much better stadiums, have much better pitches.
You're not talking about that.
No. So as a package, the Euros is a bigger tournament than AFCON. It's just like, I have to admit that. In the same way, the World Cup is a bigger tournament than the Euros. You even just said just now that the Champions League is bigger than AFCON. How can a club?
No, I'm saying to you that if you look at the awards, it's not most of the time you're winning it like Modric because of your performances at the World Cup / Champions League. My problem with his statement was trying to elevate the Copa America and dismiss the AFCON. That's my issue.
But most World Cup winners come from Latin America or come from Europe. So then I think logically you could deduce that the Copa America and the Euros are the bigger tournaments because that's where most of the World Cup winners tend to come from or have come from.
No, maybe the last time. The reason why,
but there's a link. There's a link.
Let's extend this conversation. Let's extend it out because obviously you've got Aki representing Morocco, you've got Uche represent Nigeria, and we've got Mikey.
What do you mean, Mikey? You're representing Sierra Leone. What's your thoughts, mate?
My thoughts, I can go. Okay, let's go with my thoughts then. Then we'll come to you, Mikey.
I'm ready.
So my thoughts are, I think Carragher was chatting absolute nonsense. I can get it from a European saying what he's saying, but to be as dismissive as he was, and then to double down on it on the internet, for me, he's just chatting. He's just talking rubbish, and it's just disrespectful. Frankly, it's disrespectful. You can say that you don't rate it as highly, which is kind of what he said, but to say it's not a major tournament or to imply that it's not a major tournament, that's disrespectful because clearly it's a major tournament, especially for the people of the African continent. So I don't think for him to double down on it is very, very Carragher thing to do. But for me, he was talking nonsense. Over to you, Mikey.
So I'll agree. It's a major tournament. So I think what he said is rubbish. I think the part of the message he was trying to get across, he didn't get across. And that's, if you win the Euros, you've got a better chance of being voted best player in the world. That scene with Jorginho, and it just is where it is, isn't it? I think Rodri has picked up something, either World Cup or Euros, and it skews it towards it, but doesn't specifically make them better, but it makes them more prominent in terms of the correlation to winners of it. But then, if you're going to compare it, then you can compare Haaland to, say, Salah. Haaland's never going to win the Euros or the World Cup, but I bet he wins the Ballon d'Or at least once in his career, and he won't have won or got far in either. So I think that it was a nonsense comment. He shouldn't have doubled down. It was right for Michael Richards and Daniel Sturridge to pull him up on it. Even when he was gesturing and making faces, he came across very patronising.
Exactly.
And he had a chance to kind of rein it back in. Then he had the spat with Rio online as well, where Rio was partially kind of supporting what message he thought he would have been trying to relay. So I just think that when people make these comments in public, they need to understand what they're saying. And he's just trying to perpetrate a view that shouldn't have been shared.
Especially on a big platform like Sky Sports. But thankfully, he was checked by two of the panel members. I'm sure Roy Keane and the host probably wouldn't have said anything. Craig, do you wanna give your views on this, or you're just not interested?
Yeah, no, it's similar to all of you guys, really. Using that, for me, he's out of order to use it on the platform that he has, because obviously we know Sky Sports is one of the biggest platforms out there, like that sort of show live football, and it has the most amount of views and stuff like that. So to actually say that there so ignorantly and just blasé about it, like the African Nations isn't a big tournament, like, as he was implying, and then to double down in it on another big platform on his Twitter, where he's got I don't know, thousands of followers, to actually double down. And people were trying to get him out of a hole as well, as Mikey said. Rio Ferdinand was trying to get him out of a hole to try and say, look, this is what he actually meant. But he doubled down. He said, no, this is my thoughts. He doesn't think it's a big tournament. And then sort of seconding Uche's thoughts about him comparing it to Copa America as well. Copa America, if we're going to talk about major tournaments and you're having that in the same conversation as the Euros and the World Cup and stuff like that, why are you not putting African nations in there? It's just as big. So it's an ignorant thought, and it's a narrative, let's be honest, that is out there anyway, that African nations isn't as big as whatever.
In this country, especially, probably in Europe 100%. As well.
So for him to double down on it, he's wrong for it.
I don't think it's a narrative per se. I think that is true. In this country, you're going to watch things that are on at the time that is good for you to watch and that you're used to. I don't watch much Copa America. I don't really give a damn about Copa America, really. When it gets to the semis and the final, I'll probably watch. I'll tune in to some specific games in AFCON, and then I'll watch the semis and final again. In the Euros, I'm more likely to watch the earlier rounds and the group stages or whatnot. But it just comes down to personal preference and what football you want to watch, what you want to consume.
100, yeah. But it should definitely be included.
My take, like I said, if you're going to have an opinion on something, at least pretend or prove that you actually taking that thing that you're going on about. He tried to align Euros with Copa America. And there's no way he watches that with a huge interest at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock live, the whole show and everything. He probably doesn't. So why is he trying to pretend? Like, why are you trying to fake it? That's the problem I have with it. And then to try and say, you don't know about Nations Cup. I've been to Nations Cup. I've been to see how hard it is to win these things. For example, when you're watching it as a viewer, and I think I've shared this with you guys a few times, I'm trying to tell you guys from somebody who has been there and know what it's like. Rel knows about this when we went to Madrid in June for the final against Tottenham. You come out and it's ridiculously hot and humid. Just to walk around, you're knackered after 10 minutes. That's what it's like to play in these conditions, right? In a very bad pitch, and the humidity will kill you. You cannot play fast football in that kind of situation. So it looked visually different because of the conditions that you're playing. So that's one of the biggest things that the Premier League has that people don't appreciate. You're playing in the naturally cold weather. You can run more, you can do a lot more. That's why the Spanish league is tend to be slower. Because if you try to run like the Premier League, you will be finished after 30 minutes. Because it's extremely hotter than it is normally. I was listening to Ashley Cole the other day. I don't know if you guys caught this, going off topic about when they played Brazil. And they were saying it was going to rain. It was going to rain. They were sure it was going to rain against Brazil, and it didn't rain. And the impact that had, because they knew that the Brazilians struggled in the rain. These things are hard to show visually on a TV screen, but it doesn't mean it's not happening. I know Carragher doesn't have a clue about these things. He just talks. And that's the problem.
I'm not really sure what any of that has to do with the discussion, if I'm quite
It has
honest.
everything to do with it. If you're going to comment on something, know
Let me
about what
finish.
you're talking about. No, I'm not going to let you finish. Because if you're going to, I repeat again, if you know what you're going to talk about, before you start talking, know what you're talking about. And someone like you is exactly the problem. Because you like to talk and give you the audience, you haven't got a clue what you're talking about. That's where it has to do with it.
I deal with facts. I deal with facts. You're dealing with emotion right now. So the reason why, hold up.
Talking about there's a difference.
I'm
telling you now. Yeah. Have you ever watched? Have you ever watched what football outside of this country? Simple question. Yes or no? Yes or no? Have you ever watched?
The reason why.
Answer my question. Have you ever?
One at a time, Aki. Aki, one at a time.
Yeah, but I'll answer this question when I finish my point.
No, you're going to answer my question or you're not. Have you ever watched football outside of England?
Hey, this feels like
yes or no?
Me and you went to see Liverpool versus Madrid, you idiot.
Okay, that's Europe. Have you ever watched football outside Europe?
That
would be enough. Yes, like
give me a chance. I don't know. I can't remember.
Of course you can't remember. God, you don't remember.
I have watched football outside of England.
Okay, where did you watch the football?
Outside of Europe.
A friendly in USA?
No, actually. I've seen a game in Tangier.
You see what we're dealing with? This is what we're dealing with. This is kind of
no. So the reason why
Carragher what's your point, Aki?
Yeah, so the reason why Carragher loved Copa America with the Euros is because of what I said earlier. Like the best teams in the world, Brazil, Argentina, and whatever the 2-3 European teams are from Europe and Latin America. So logically, it makes sense to say Euros and Copa America because the biggest team or the biggest national teams come from those continents.
That's fine.
Yeah,
at least watch the tournament.
I think you're just being too emotionally driven.
No, I'm saying
and you're not sticking to facts of what they are.
Emotional stuff, yeah. We're gonna stick to facts. So let me go back to what I said. Yeah, you're talking about Copa America, yeah, and I said if you watch the tournament, that's fine. It's all right saying it's the best country, yeah, but in fact, yeah, if we go back, yeah, I know that other countries may have won it, but if you're talking about it, at least watch the tournament. That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna compare something, yeah, in life, just generally, if you're gonna compare something, at least watch all those things, and then you can have a fair comparison. What you're saying is just what you say on paper. Surely, for Carragher to say that, he would have had to watch AFCON live, watch some Copa America live, and some Euros.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Why?
It's an opinion on it not being good. Yeah, yeah.
No. The onus is on those tournaments. The onus is on those tournaments to be to force people to watch it for the excitement. If those tournaments aren't bringing excitement and are not bringing in fans, then that's on them. It's not on anyone else. So I don't think Carragher needs to sit there and watch every single Asian Cup, every single AFCON. No, I don't think so. I've asked you why he has to do that.
You can comment on it anyway. You don't need to watch the Champions League.
Carragher is based in England, right? So his focus is going to be on Europe.
Which is what I said is fine. I have no problem with that. It's the fact that he tried to mention the Copa America, which I'm probably sure he don't watch. That's what I said from the beginning.
He probably does watch it, though. He probably does watch it.
One question. Do you actually think Copa America has a bearing on the Ballon d'Or?
Probably not. I don't think so, no.
And what's the relevance here?
Why has he mentioned it then?
Why is he mentioning it in the same token? Because I think that the Euros has a bearing on it. And I think that some of the winners kind of explain that. Whereas who's come from the Copa America, winning the Copa America that has won the Ballon d'Or that wouldn't have won it anyway? Messi's won the Copa twice. He would have won the Ballon d'Or regardless because it's Messi. There's a
Did
period of time.
Did Neymar win it one year when they won?
No.
Let me. I've just pulled up the list.
There was a period of time when I think the other countries won it. I think what country that won
Chile?
it? Chile, yeah. And they don't. There was no one near the top three. Not even close to it. None of them.
No.
That's the problem. So I think, like I said, I don't mind having an opinion stuff if you can validate your opinion. So he's saying Copa America, we were there and they won it a few times and they don't figure in it, like Mikey was saying. So what is it that why are you trying to hang on to this thing, this idea that is totally flawed? You just try and latch onto it. That's what I'm saying. It's not about emotions, Aki. It's about stating facts.
Do we okay, we're going to wrap this up in a sec. But do we know whether it's the voting is based on the managers and the captains? Is that right? Was that the World Player of the Year? I can't remember for Ballon d'Or.
Based about journalists who are based around the globe. They have to have a specific qualification to make it.
Right, because looking at the winners list, basically it's Europeans that win it, other than people that play for Argentina or Brazil. Looking along the list.
Yeah, like I said, you can look at.
No,
okay,
there's
been
one African winner.
Is that the Copa America? That's not a bearing on it.
Who wins
it? Just isn't.
South American winners. It won't be a bearing.
Yeah, Uruguay won it in 2011. Then it was Chile. Then it was another Chile, and none of those guys made the top three. So what are we talking about here? It's just total nonsense. Like it's like I don't mind. Like, and then someone's telling me that it's about emotion. What's emotion about what I'm saying? Go and check your facts, Aki. Stop saying just ranting. Like unlike you, that's what I'm saying. Everyone can have an opinion, but then you have to have some sort of try and do some research yourself. Yeah, do yourself a favor and try and read up on something before you have a comment. That's what I get frustrated with. You're not telling me it's all about emotion. You think I'm African or it's not about. No, I'm saying to you that he's just elevated Copa America, but we know previous winners that have never featured in the top three ever. Chile has won.
Pretty emotional, Uche.
I was just gonna say that.
All right, it's getting too emotional now. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Wait, before we close out, so the voting process is a journalist voted process from the top 100 ranked FIFA teams. FIFA countries, sorry.
FIFA countries.
From FIFA countries.
Journalists from
FIFA countries. Okay. Okay, top 100 is likely going to lean towards European teams then, I imagine.
No. What they do, they try to spread it out to be global.
Sorry, European countries. The top 100 teams are likely to be mostly in Europe.
It's 100 journalists, one from each of the top 100 FIFA-ranked nations, vote for the men's Ballon d'Or.
Right, so the FIFA rankings are likely to be swayed more to European countries, is what I'm...
If there's more European countries in there, then...
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, then. So we've had that discussion, got quite heated. Aki and Uche will be friends again. But we're going to move on to what the games that are coming. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. With those two. Definitely don't know. But we're going to move on to talk about the Champions League fixtures. Obviously, both our teams were doing the matchy in the FA Cup and got knocked out in the last round. So hang on a sec, actually. It's quite funny that Plymouth scored and were winning yesterday's game against Man City. But obviously Man City pulled it around in the end. But anyway, that's by the by.
Wait. Why was that funny? Because they knocked you out.
It was almost going to prove. No, wait, it was going to prove because they were up against a pretty strong City team, whereas they weren't up against a pretty strong Liverpool team. But anyway,
get out of here with that.
Both our teams, however, are still, unlike Man City, both of our teams are still in the Champions League, and we're into the knockout phases. When it starts to get serious now. So PSV have been drawn against Arsenal, and Liverpool have drawn, despite winning top of the league, finishing top of the league, have been drawn against PSG. And I don't know which game is first, but we're going to start with the PSV v Arsenal game. We played them, Liverpool played them in the group stage, or the league format stage, and we lost, but that was our last game of the league format stage, sorry. and we put in a team that was full of a mix of youngsters and squad players, and we ended up losing the game. Although we were quite comfortable at some points during that match. Now they're up against Arsenal, strikerless Arsenal. What do we think, Craig, is going to be the result? And in fact, let's talk about, first of all, the game, and then whether or not you think Arsenal are going to go through in the end. So let's start with the actual game on whatever day, Tuesday, Wednesday, this week. How do you think that's going to go?
I think I gave my thoughts on the last one. I just don't, as we've got no forwards, and we've just lost the actual sort of way we play in terms of getting that ball forward. There's no one there to actually supply anyway, because Mourinho had this lucky sort of cameo appearance against Leicester, and that's now just in the wind, and he looks terrible. He looks like a midfielder playing up front. So I don't understand what's going on. I'm still fuming at the January window. And as I said, I don't expect us to actually beat PSV. I think the most we can hope for is a draw, 0-0 draw in this week's game. And then if we bring them back to the Emirates, hopefully there's a set piece sort of special going on, and then we can nick a 1-0. But in terms of outlet, we've got nothing up top. I don't know where our goals are going to come from. Our captain's been very poor as well in the last few games. We're relying on a 17-year-old Ethan Nwaneri as our sort of main attacker. Trossard's gone missing. So I'm not expecting much from this game, and I'm hoping it's a ball fest and it's a 0-0 draw.
Let's before I get Mikey's view, let's touch on the Odegaard, your captain, these performances. What's gone on there? Because he came back from injury. You're supposed to be welcoming him back, and then all I'm seeing is gunshots galore online from Arsenal fans.
I think it's justified as well. So that's my opinion, because I think we've had some sort of discussion in our sort of groups, and some people were disagreeing with it. But I just think he's been poor, and it just shows his quality as a captain. It's not quite there. It's not quite what we need. I personally want to see the captaincy given to someone else. Obviously, Arteta won't do that because he's obviously chosen Odegaard for a reason. But I feel when the times get tough, you need your captain to. I know he's not based on. He's not very vocal as a captain. He's more sort of based on his performances, and they've been poor. So if that's your captain and that's what he's on, that's his ilk of being a performance-based captain, and his performances are terrible or one of the worst in the team. How is that translating to the rest of the team?
Mike is laughing at you, Craig.
Odegaard's been absolutely shocking, I think, since he's come back. And I think he should now be carrying this team in terms of what we're about. And even his body language looks poor. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know if he's feeling sorry for himself, or this whole sort of media attack on Arsenal of attacking our January window, which is justified. But I think that's getting back to the players, because the body language isn't looking quite right on some of the players that I've seen, and the performances have been terrible as well. So it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see if he turns up in this game, because he has to turn up in this game for us to get any result. Even if to hang on for a 0-0 draw, he needs to turn up. So that'd be interesting.
Yeah, definitely would be interesting. And Mikey, I saw you chuckling when Craig was talking about Odegaard. Was there something you wanted to say on that point?
It's emotional. It's an emotional pod, man.
I feel like there's going to be some tears soon. Odegaard, I think Craig's going over the top a little bit, because there's certain things that he does that no other player does for us in terms of the press, linking things together. It's his final ball. It's his lack of being able to shoot that's costing us. And where we rely on Saka when he's there to win us a game, he hasn't got that capability.
Sorry, Mike, before we go on, so just quickly, didn't he get double figures last year? Or did I make that up?
The season before he got 15.
15.
So
okay.
it's just crazy. I don't know what's happened to him, whether he's changed boots, whether they're too tight. Something's going on, because a couple of seasons ago, he'd get the ball from outside the box and he could put it in the bottom corner quite comfortably. Now he's scuffing shots. He can't hit it properly. He'll be in the 6-yard box and scuff his shot. Something's up with him. But he's important to the team, though, so he has to be there. In regards to PSV, yeah, let's hope for a 0-0. We've just played 3 games and we've scored 2 goals from Marino. What, games against Leicester, West Ham and Nottingham Forest? That's pretty bleak. And Arteta has actually taken a mick because Marino has played every minute of the last 2 games. And still, I'm not seeing one youth product striker come on and get a minute.
This is
absolutely ridiculous.
This is what I want to say.
There's a youth striker on the bench that he hasn't had a minute. Or he had a minute in a cup or something like that. And he hasn't played since. Well, why is he on the bench? If he's not good enough, why is he there on the bench?
What circumstances is he coming on at? Unless somebody gets injured, is that what he's saying? That he's only good to come on if somebody gets injured? Because otherwise, like you're saying, Craig, what's he doing there? If he's not going to come on to help you win a game.
Nothing happening in that Forest game. He should have touched the pitch.
Listen, I get Marino starting, as a senior professional. But when it's not working, change the damn thing. Like, it's like a broken record. I don't understand how you can watch West Ham and Nottingham Forest 0 goals in both games and think that's acceptable or okay. Without
even bringing on an extra attacker. That guy and taking off one of your many centre backs playing across the defence.
Listen, against Nottingham Forest, Calafiori was our most dangerous attacking player. Like, what's going on, really? And then, do you know what killed it? Who came on? Oh, he brought Zinchenko on, didn't he? To play in midfield. Took off Rice. Did he take him off in both games? He's making some decisions that's annoying anyway.
I think he played a whole 90 in the Forest.
He played a whole. He took off somebody that I was just like, and brought on somebody that I was just like, wow, is this it? So 0-0.
0-0. See, Uche, this is my thing with Arteta. I know I can't get the Arsenal fans. I've tried to
you can't.
Like,
so
pull it out of them.
Going down.
I've tried to pull it out of them.
Your problem. You're on a one-way road, and you can't see.
Uche, I can't get it out of these guys. But you've seen even just this season. You've seen previously on the clock where must-win game he'll take off. We'll play with 2 centre backs if we need to in defence and nobody else. And he'll bring on attacker after attacker to try and win a game because it's a must-win. Similarly with Slot, you've seen it this season with Slot as well. We've played 4, all of our attackers at the same time.
That's right.
And then you've got Arteta, you're 0-0 in a game that you must win, and Marino's playing the full 95 minutes, and no striker changes coming. It's bringing on Zinchenko. Is that what happened?
That's because
that's actually funny.
Zinchenko's
going to win you the game.
Yeah, he likes his 0-0. To be honest, there's too much. I don't know what happened. Maybe when I was away, people are feeling too downhearted. I don't understand, man. You guys should be uplifted. This is the Champions League, man. At the end of the day, Arsenal have only conceded 3 goals in the whole of the Champions League campaign so far. Very difficult to score against Arsenal because it's all about defending. You guys have like 8 defenders at times. You guys are brilliant at it. So 0-0 is a great prediction. And I don't know what's the fuss about. You have Raheem. What happened to Raheem? Raheem friggin' Sterling. He's the guy that's gonna bang you the goals that you bought in. Do you remember when you got in, Craig? You got skanking.
He's trying to wind me up here, bro.
I just saw big. I just saw Craig's shoulders go like that and then go down again.
I'm looking at your team and I'm wondering why would I, if I'm Raheem friggin' Sterling, which I am, why is Marino playing ahead of me? I don't understand.
Yeah, he won't be ever in life.
I don't understand. Please, explain to me. If I am Raheem,
he's about as tall as Raheem, bro.
Why is this guy playing ahead of me? Please tell me why is Marino playing ahead of me? I don't get it. I mean, I was meant to be the guy. I am meant to be the guy that I worked with Arteta when I was at Man City. He understands my game. I understand him. I was brought in to Merck. This is your chance. Why are you playing Marino ahead of him? Can somebody answer me that question? Can somebody ask me, are you talking about strikers? Raheem used to bank 20 league goals in this league. This very league we're talking about. Raheem Sterling owned this very league we're talking about. He owned it. He ran things. What's going on?
His confidence is shot, mate.
With everyone. You should know that.
Anyway, as a point of correction, I just wanted to remind Arsenal fans, you have scored 2 goals in the last 4 games. That includes the Newcastle game.
You don't have to remind us. I said that. Thank you.
Okay, you said 3 games. So actually 4 games. So good luck with that. It's very
league games.
Yeah. No,
I
I don't.
We're dealing with league.
Okay.
Don't conflate.
2 goals in 4. 2 goals in 4 games. Well, especially a game where you needed to score to go through. And you got Raheem Sterling, totally fit. He could play 90 minutes right now, but Craig doesn't want him. Mikey doesn't want him to play. I wonder why that is.
I do want him to play, actually.
Mikey wants him to play. I don't want him to play. But at this point, just put him on. Something different, put him on. I don't care.
But against PSV, I think you guys, you got a good draw. I don't expect any issues. PSV, just hold them at arm's length. 0-0, I would have gone with 0-0.
They're not that good, to be honest.
But the problem is, you say they're not that good, but the problem with Arsenal is if you do score against them now, they've got a massive problem.
We're done.
That's the problem. So I think under normal circumstances, I don't know, Craig, you normally privy to this information about your team. Is there any chance of one of your big boys coming back in one of these legs?
Let's talk about
after the
Martinelli coming back after the international break, isn't it? So,
I know how much you love him as well. I mean, you love your players. I mean, you are in love with your players. I mean, I know how much you talk about so lovingly about Martinelli. I mean, you're missing him right now, aren't you?
As lovely as
Mikey is it? Mikey don't rate him at all, but I think he's.
That's what you guys do every day. They don't play man this. Why do you like this? You're playing so much.
Listen, I don't like him, but he's better than what we have. Anybody that's better than what we have can play until we can sign someone to replace them, and then they can go. I don't care.
I think it's one of those situations. Honestly, I think Arsenal can just do like the Inter are doing, keep it solid, nothing entertaining, go there, get a result, and hopefully Saka will be back for the next round of fixtures. I don't anticipate a shock here, but if Arsenal start going 1-0 down, to me they're out. But I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah, for me, before I come to Aki's prediction, for me, I think PSV, they've got to hope that the home advantage takes them over the line. I personally don't. After seeing them play against us and the team that we put out, and we pretty much dominated until they went ahead through some mistakes, and we had Nalo came on and got sent off within 5 minutes. I don't rate them at all. So home advantage may get the goals for them, but I think you could probably turn it around the second leg anyway, especially if your big boys are back, even though you still might be playing Marino up front. Aki, what's your prediction before we move on to talk about Liverpool?
It should be a game Arsenal win, really, quite comfortably, but they're not in form at the moment, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them lose. Even if they do qualify, they're going to get beat by Real Madrid, so they're just delaying the Liverpool by staying in the tournament.
Okay, nice and sweet. Short and sweet. So let's talk about PSG. Getting my G's and my V's wrong. PSG against Liverpool is the fixture that we Liverpool fans are looking forward to this week. Uche, we've seen PSG put some goals. Was it Man City they played?
Yeah, Man City
came back and beat them.
Yeah.
It's not the all-star team that we've known previously, but maybe it's a better team in terms of team performances than we've known before. So what do you think is going to be the result in that game?
I think that'll be a very interesting game. I definitely expect us to concede probably in both legs. They've got some brilliant kids, man. I mean, that Barcola has got techers that he's just amazing. It's a great player to watch. Next to Dembele, and sometimes they play that little kid called Doué as well. So I'm excited to see and watch the game. I expect it to be a high-scoring game. But the bottom line is our experience and our attack against their defense is going to make all the difference. But I expect them to score probably in both legs. But obviously, I'm not worried about going out, because if Liverpool has everything in our favor, we're able to rest players in between the 2 legs, because we're playing Southampton at the weekend. We have everything, almost all the tools that we need in terms of fitness and players back. So, but I still expect to be a very good game. I'm looking forward to seeing those kids play. But ultimately, we're gonna win, go through both legs.
Good stuff. I've just checked the League A table, and they're running away with it. They've not lost a game all season. 19 wins, 5 draws. So they're not getting any domestic challenges at all.
No.
So very confident, we're going to be facing. Aki, go on.
I think PSG are 13 points ahead, actually. They're kind of steamrolling the league a little bit like what we are. I've not watched them play this season. So, but I did read that Luis Enrique said they're not going to sit back and defend. They're going to go out there to attack. So I guess the first game being away probably plays into our strengths a little bit. I think it'll be a tough game, to be honest with you. It's, you know, if you come top of the Champions League, you expect to get like Club Brugge, Villa, you know, Arsenal, like you know, semi-rate team. This game could easily be the final. No, honestly, this game could easily could have been the final. To be honest with you, like I think PSG had a
final. Shut your mouth, man. What are you talking about?
This could be the final.
You do realize that PSG qualified in something like 15th place or something? Was it?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, I was just about to start. I was just about to say. I was just about to say they had a poor start.
We already beat them 2-0.
They had a poor start. They had a poor start, and then since that poor start, they've literally steamrolled their way back into the Champions League.
Steamrolled their way.
Yeah. I think they won the last 5 games. They won the last 5 games.
Morgan.
They won their last 4 or 5 games. They beat Bayern Munich. They beat Man City.
This is exactly the same as Man City are back.
It's not. You guys would get destroyed by PSG. So I don't even know why you're talking. Like,
we beat them 3-0. Are you okay?
In the season.
In the Champions League this year, we beat them 2-0, you fool.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season. PSG are miles better than Arsenal. Come on.
Who did you say the stream road again? Just so much.
No.
Who did you say the stream road again? Can you mind? Because I think I think I wasn't hearing well. Who did they steamroll again?
Who, me?
Yeah, you said the team you named that you said the steamroll. I just want to check if it's true.
Random business, bro.
I mean, I know the truth. But tell me again. Who's the team that they steamrolled? You mentioned them already. Can we mention them again?
I think they beat Bayern Munich. They beat Man City.
They beat Bayern Munich. What was the score?
I think so.
What did they beat? What was the score?
I can't recall the exact
But
score.
you said that you used the word steamroll, so you must be able to give me like, okay, was it 4 something?
Don't get kind of like hooked up on like one use of a word. They won their last 4 or 5 games in the Champions League.
But they definitely played that by
Aki's is going back from the steamroller.
No, okay, just tell him the score.
They beat Brest 10-0.
No, tell him the Bayern Munich score. I beg.
We're not talking about Bayern Munich. We're not talking about Brest, mate. We're talking about Bayern Munich.
They steamrolled Bayern Munich and lost 1-0. I've never known a team to steamroller someone and lose.
That's what
I thought they beat Bayern Munich, no?
No, but you said it. No, that's what you think. I mean, your facts are different from the reality.
I know they lost I know they lost 3 games.
Say facts, right? It's got to be something you can check. So I'm trying to understand. Maybe I missed it. This steamrolling situation.
Look. That comment was in relation. They needed to win their last 4 games in the Champions League, and they won their last 4 games. Yes,
they won their last 4 games. Is that also
yes or no? Yes or no?
So, Aki, you said they steamrolled Bayern Munich. Allow it.
They lost. Anyway, let's move on. So, PSG Liverpool, I think, is going to be a tough game. I think it will probably be a high scoring draw, like 2-2, something like that, and then we'll finish them off at Anfield. But over to you, Mikey. What do you think about this game?
I think that their wide players are going to have fun with your fullbacks. It's going to be an interesting game. I've not seen them with Kvaratskhelia, so it'll be interesting to see how he links up with Dembele, Barcola, and whether Doué plays. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I hope it's not on at the same time because I want to watch it because, as you say, there's definitely going to be goals. And I'd say it's going to be something like 2-2 or 3-2 either way in that first leg. I think you guys are fortunate that you have this Anfield thing going on. So whenever it's a Champions League return leg, it's almost like a write-off for opposition unless they are well clear. And even if they're like 2 goals up.
Even if they're 3-0 up like Barcelona. Yeah.
Arsenal play on Tuesday, by the way. Liverpool play Wednesday.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'll be
tuning in. Real Madrid are playing Atletico Madrid, so I'll be watching that game.
What, instead of Liverpool?
Nah, instead of you guys.
So will I probably, to be honest.
Craig, man, come on.
Craig is
Your
not-
manager is got fighting talk. So you've got to back him out. What's the Arsenal thing about trust the process? Yeah, let's do that.
That's out the window now. That's out the window.
Craig,
On
I've
to
All
your
right.
game. I've got my PSG top in my drawer ready to go, mate. So
I bet you have. I'm surprised
yeah,
you're not wearing it
no,
now, to be honest.
Craig, your predictions are so wonderful. I was reminiscing over the last two pods I saw. I was just laughing my head off. Your great predictions. They keep coming.
I'm gonna get one right.
Okay. What are you saying? I want to score, Craig. 2-1?
I think it's
3-1.
no. I'm gonna go 3-1. You know,
You know what?
3-1.
3-1.
3-1
Craig,
PSG.
just
First
pick a
leg.
Liverpool win. Seeing as you're just a jinx, just reverse it. Pick it up.
100.
Nah, I could never
100%.
predict them to win. No chance.
Then
3-1
we're
PSG.
going to continue this cycle. Nonsense.
Okay. All right then. So we are thinking about a draw for Arsenal, hopefully, and then maybe a draw or a narrow loss for Liverpool. Actually, Uche, I've forgotten. What did you say? The actual
I was
result
kind of
gonna
like I would have gone with I can never like give. I gotta give Liverpool their credit. So I'm gonna go for 2-1 Liverpool away in the first leg because, like I said, I think PSG would score, but I don't think they can handle our forward players either. So that's really why they struggled at the initial stages. Is that they were having chances, but the bottom line is our forward players against their defense is going to be a problem. The same way they think the problem for our fullbacks. We've actually got Konate and Van Dijk in there. They don't. So yeah, I'm going for 2-1 Liverpool first leg. Well, it's going to be a very good game to watch.
Yeah, be a good one. So that's on Wednesday. You said, Aki, yeah?
Yeah, Wednesday. I'll go 3-1
Okay,
Liverpool as well. And
3-1
1-0 Arsenal.
1-0 Arsenal. Yes, the famous chant.
I'm going to go for PSV to actually win 1-0 now because I'm not convinced that Arsenal can do anything in that leg.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on back to the Premier League this weekend. So obviously, Uche, I'm going to start with you here. Obviously, you were away when Liverpool collected some nice results at the same time that Arsenal were collecting some ball draws.
Craig was very happy about that as well.
Exactly.
Wow.
And
I'm disappointed you went on the pod, mate. I think I said that in the group, no?
This weekend, Uche, so we picked up some positive results at the same time Arsenal have picked up some negative results. And that has left us 13 points clear at the top of the table with one game played more than Arsenal. 10 games left to go. I think we've got 7 of those at home, 6 or 7 of those at home. What's wrong? What's up, Craig?
Get on with it, man.
The guy is suffering, man.
I don't even think Southampton are going to beat you guys, like. So let's move on from this. Come on, man. What are we doing there?
I just want to look. We're not gonna dwell on this game because obviously Southampton are not a great team. But Uche, I just want to get his views on how he felt
get my views about what happened
the
in the last
the results that's led us into this position and the game that's coming this weekend. Go on, Uche.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you, Craig. I know you never heard this, so I'm gonna just tell you. Like I was.
Come back, Craig.
I'm about to leave, bro. I don't want to hear. We've done this already. I don't want to hear his thing.
Craig, listen, man. I'm being generous. Come on, man. Come on. Let me tell you what happened truthfully. So in that game against Everton, you knew what happened, right? I came out of the plane. I thought we had won the game. I was there skanking. Next minute, I'm being told it was an equalizer. That was a big disappointment. Very bad day. Terrible day. You had a great time. Loving it. Yeah. Fast forward the other time. Yeah. Wolves. Man was shook, right? We won that game. I was happy. You guys, everything. And then came to the Villa game. Bro, I've never got close to smashing my phone back in the day again. With that flipping. I'm not gonna say what I really want to say on here, right? So let's just say that forward player that comes from Uruguay, yeah. When he did his thing, when he did that dance, that was not funny. But yeah, truthfully, my best moment on the holiday was just watching you guys struggle against West Ham. Just this pile of nonsense. You guys can't do anything. You can't even hurt anything. I'm like, giving it away. Give it away. And then the next day,
we've got no players left. We've got no strikers left. We've got no strikers. We've got no forward players. What can we do?
what can you do? I tell you what you can do. You can then watch the next day. You can then watch the next day how we deal with champions. Yeah, go to the air ground, give them a schooling, deal with them, and lock off the league. And now the procession thing. You know how it goes. We're going for a procession now. Yeah, so get ready for that. What's that thing called? That Ring of Honor when we come through. When you come to Anfield, yeah, you ready for that?
And today is even worse. The flipping Gordon get himself sent off, and then Isaac's might be injured as well.
Nah, to be honest,
I'm going to this final. I don't want to go. I don't want to do anything, man.
To be honest, you know how I feel about this kind of final, Craig. The bottom line is when you're a huge favorite, it's the best place to be. Whether it was Isak or Gordon or whoever, that final was ours. It's just simple as that. So all that stuff don't matter. These are just asterisks, stuff to add to make it jazz it up. We're always going to win that final regardless of who they played. I'm not worried about him at all. I hope Isak is fit. I hope they overturn the red card. I want them all there because it's not going to matter. It is what it is. It's a procession thing. All you're doing is just watching through. You're just watching. You're watching us as we go through, collecting. You know, checkpoint for a checkpoint, collecting our things, collecting our rings of honor. All you can do now is what? I told you there was no fakers. I told you were fakers.
You've had a lucky season. You've had a lucky season, so you know.
What lucky season?
With injuries, come on, man. With all the things that went against us, you've had a lucky season.
What went against you? What went against
you? Celebrate your season, man. It's good.
Listen, Craig, I'm collating a dossier for this narrative, this things that went against us. Narrative. Injuries narrative.
Exactly.
We'll release it at some point soon. Don't worry. It's coming. Don't worry.
It's gonna come before
as someone said to me, you can't plan for 4 key injuries to your forward players in a season. You can't plan for that. That doesn't happen. That's really bad luck. So, as I said, well done to you guys. Enjoy your season.
Can I ask you a question? You said 4, yeah? You said 4, right? Is this a striker?
I said forward players.
Also, there was an article I was reading in the Guardian actually the other day, and they're talking about hamstring injuries, and they were saying for Saka, who's always going to get a hamstring injury because of the number of games that he's been playing for 2 seasons on the trot.
Yeah, sounds good.
Cool story.
So
he's always going to get a calf injury as well.
The point being is, we've had less injuries because Slot has used the squad. He's taken players off. He had some rotation. Arteta doesn't do any of that. He runs your players to the ground, so you get more injuries. It's as simple as that, really. It's a bit like Man City.
How much has Salah been rested?
Yeah, Salah played nearly every game this
season.
How
much has Salah been rested? And then shut your mouth.
He gets rested to the key games. No, he gets rested to the key games. He didn't play in the FA Cup. He didn't play in the FA Cup. He didn't play against PSV. He didn't play the early round of the Carabao Cup. So that for me is rested.
Doesn't get rested. Check his minutes.
That's resting. That's resting, bro.
Salah's minutes and
not playing a game is being rested. The last time I checked, not playing a game means you've been rested.
How was Salah?
No.
How old is Salah?
32.
Right. And Saka is what? 23. So you're telling me the 32-year-old should play more minutes than the 23-year-old, and that the 23-year-old is going to have more risk of getting injured? You idiot. Where did you read this?
No.
Where did you read it?
Your argument.
I just want to know what
any sense whatsoever. Like, have you been drinking today or something? But
wait,
does
that makes sense?
Salah and Saka play different roles. Salah rolls around. He gets active when we have the ball. Saka's doing a lot of running up and down, and he doesn't get rested. Salah gets rested. Salah rests himself.
No, stop saying Salah gets rested. He
does. I've already listed you out some games. PSV, early round of the FA Cup, Plymouth. They're games where he got rested, mate. If you can't accept that, that's down to you. But these are facts.
The game you lost, he was rested.
It doesn't matter, but he was rested. He was rested still.
All right, we're not gonna bother with. We can do predictions if you want for this match, but I just want the only one I do actually want is Craig's. What's the score going to be?
Oh, this one. I'm not gonna be an idiot. 3-0 Liverpool.
3-0 Liverpool. Maybe the reverse thing will work. Actually, maybe it will work.
Hopefully.
Okay, let's talk about this game. So Manchester United.
Ah, it's flipping.
What?
Oh,
No one
they're
else
so
predicts
funny.
the score, it's just Craig.
What's that?
Nobody else predicts the score now.
I know, right?
Just for this, you want to predict the score? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, I like to be right. 6-0.
Wow.
6-0.
Are you a mad?
Why did I go mad? Have you seen Southampton play?
6-0.
If Liverpool don't test everybody, it will be 6-0.
No, we will definitely rest some players. I don't.
Yeah,
If
they're
we rest
gonna.
some players.
Yeah, the
it will be
100%
4-0.
gonna rotate. They're gonna
To
rotate.
be fair, the reverse picture was quite difficult for us. I
Yeah,
think
it was
we only won
actually quite tricky.
It was.
3-2.
Okay.
Nah, 3-0.
I'll go 3-0 personally, 3-0, because we might rest some players.
How do you say the reverse fixture was quite difficult and then say 3-0?
It was not 6-0. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
It's not going to be as easy as 6-0, so it's going to be 3-0 instead. Okay. Uche, you're free to do a prediction if you want to, but I want to
so I'll just go with a
Man
nice
United
little 2-0. That's it. 2-0. I'm not. No, just
2-0.
just professional.
Same. 2-0.
Oh, wow. It's the first time you said a win.
I said a win the last time we played. We did the pod, didn't I?
No, you said a draw.
Actually, no, you're right. I did say a draw.
Yeah,
No, you did say a draw. So I listened to it. You said a draw
say-
for sure.
I did say a draw. You're right. Okay.
Because you had it was good logic. He was saying that we haven't won there in a long time, which is true.
Yeah, 10 years to be precise. But anyway, let's go. So Manchester United is against Arsenal on Sunday. Now, Manchester United plays today, got knocked out today at home against Fulham in the FA Cup. It was 1-0 for a large part of the game. Man United equalised, and then it went to penalties, and United lost, which I love to hear. But they're taking on an Arsenal team on Sunday that even Manchester United should be able to get a result against, Craig. No?
I don't know. Well, you know what? I'd back us to do better than we did against West Ham and Forest. So we might actually get a win there because they're actually very poor. But they usually sort of turn up against Arsenal at Old Trafford. So it's going to be another difficult one. So I'm hoping we can nick a win, maybe a set piece or something like that, or hold on for a draw. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Just sim the rest of the season, yeah? Just sim it.
Literally.
Simulate.
Mikey, what do you think?
No.
Wow.
Okay. Uche, what do you think? No, I'm joking. Anything else to add, Mikey?
That's it. It's 0-0. Until we get some players back or an idea of how to attack, we'll defend and hope that they don't scrape a goal. We defend quite well, so 0-0.
And Man United can't defend corners as well, can't defend set pieces, so we might be all right in that game.
Oh, yeah, 1-0.
Yeah, 1-0. There you go.
Gabriel.
Uche.
It's a difficult game to reach that. There's nothing I like about Man United. It's such a poor team, and Arsenal really, if Arsenal were playing the way that I expect them to play, Arsenal could win this game 3-0 and just completely turn that place upside down. But unfortunately, I don't know how long Arsenal are going to go without scoring. And Man United, like Craig said, always turn up when these silly big games. I don't know what possesses them. They just do things that you don't expect. So you're not going to
see what they did to us at Anfield.
Yeah, that kind of stuff. So that's why I'm probably gonna go for a Man United win. Not because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Just purely because somebody would turn up. I don't know, delay or somebody.
They won't win.
They shouldn't win. I shouldn't even be talking about Manchester United against Arsenal. Arsenal is a disrespect to your team. That's what I'm saying. But I haven't watched them shot what I thought was gonna be an easy stroll for us. I'm thinking that same thing could be coming your way, where you can't explain what's about to transpire. You can't explain it. You'll be struggling to explain.
Yeah, but at least then they had Ahmad.
That's a good point. That's true.
That
is true.
I'm sorry.
I'm watching them
today.
today.
The Hoyland and whoever the other board was.
No, that's a good point on that. Actually,
the youngster Obi that they nicked from you guys played all right today, though. He had a few good chances.
How many score?
That's why I said he had a few good chances, and he looked all right.
He could run up against
He could have done with him, to be fair. He could
To
have
be
done with
fair,
him.
he'd be playing for you guys right now. If you were still at Arsenal,
I don't think Arteta would have played him.
He'd be on the bench, though, I'll tell you that.
What good's that?
Yeah, well, that's
With the other you.
Yeah,
this is why I'm saying. Sorry, Uche, just quickly. This is why I'm saying we need to have a conversation about Arteta at some point on this pod. We need to have a
We've had lots of conversations. You keep saying it.
No, we haven't had a proper one. Why is he okay? Why is he not bringing players on when you need to win games? Why is he not bringing strikers on? Why is he buying multiple defenders when he should have bought a striker? Anyway, let's not dwell on it right now. But we're going to have that conversation at some point.
Guess what? No, we will dwell on it because I want to dwell on it, and I'm on the point.
Let's go.
Right.
Okay, let's go.
So you keep wanting to steer this conversation, yourself and Aki. Nearly every pod, it's how long's Arteta going to get? You've got an agenda.
I haven't said that.
Don't interject, please. You've got an agenda against Arteta because you keep mentioning it. You keep interjecting. Is this a thing? Is it going to continue like this?
It may be if you say things I haven't said. I didn't say that.
Can you stop being aggressive? Right.
Do you know what? It's this top row. All of us in this top row have just been bitten by this bug. Sorry, go on.
The point is, you keep trying to steer conversations toward this Arteta. Craig has given his view to you. I have given my view to you. It should nip it in the bud, but you keep doing it every pod. What do you want us to say? You say it.
I want you to admit that your manager needs to do better. That's what I want you to admit.
That's
not
what
say,
you want.
Not say that. Oh,
yeah, now. Right now. There you go.
It's injury.
I want Arteta to do better. It's done.
He should do better. He should do better. Yeah, he hasn't done well enough this season. Is what I'm saying.
Oh no.
Okay, there you go then. Okay.
And I've already dismissed this, and I've given you the reasons previously. Uche will know.
Okay then.
We've already gone through the reasons, so I don't know why it keeps coming up.
Okay, no worries.
The only thing I would say, I know it's not really my business, but I'm gonna just say what I'm gonna say. My personal issue with Arsenal and Arteta was, I think you guys thought you were gonna win it, especially with what happened with Manchester City, but you did not. You overlooked us, like many people did, and then Mr. Slot came, did what he did, and cruised. You guys had no chance. You literally had no chance. You definitely had no chance the moment Saka went down, and I said that from the get-go. There's zero chance. Fakers, challenges. Fake challenges.
The very first pod, did I not say that you guys are the champs?
Yeah, you did. That's why I can't criticize. I can't criticize him because I'm gonna be real. This is where, to be fair to Rel, he disagrees with some of these points. I've always said, and it happened to us when Van Dijk went down, and I always say that. Don't talk to me when Van Dijk goes down. There's nothing to talk about. You're not winning anything. I don't care what you do. Don't talk to me when Salah goes down. You're wasting time. You're not gonna win anything. That's my view. I don't waste energy. You can do whatever, be the best manager all you want. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. It's done. It's over. So that's why I say with Arsenal fans, once I heard that Saka was out for 2 months, it would be very, very strange for Arteta to win the league without his best player missing 2 months of the Premier League season. There's something that's gone wrong there with the league, because that league cannot be the best league in the world.
Let me just put this out there. I agree with that point.
What?
I agree that I rate Saka. You know how highly I rate Saka. I agree with that point. My point is, you didn't know that. Anyway, my point is that before Saka got injured, you still were a distance behind us before he got injured. So what was the excuse? Oh, it was red cards, was it?
We've been
how many red cards you had under this manager? Whose fault is that? At some point, it points towards a manager.
What's that film where they spray the thing and all memory goes? Is someone someone leaked down with it? You've been tasered or something? Because we've gone through it. We went through. We had red cards in difficult situations. You can say, yeah, you shouldn't have got red cards. Okay, cool. Then we went through injuries. You will recollect. Odegaard was out for 2 months as well. And that impacted us during that period.
The same on the
Listen, as Uche just said, don't talk to me. Saka's our best player.
Great. What's your views?
And Odegaard was our second
I'm not allowed
best
to talk to Mikey.
attacking player. So on that basis, don't talk to me.
Okay. Anyway, let's wrap this up now. We've just gone just over the hour, so we'll finish up. Mikey, you said 0-0. Uche, you said you think Man United.
Yeah, Man United.
might do it
I was gonna give a prediction. Man United would win. I don't know how, but they'll win the game 2-1. Doesn't make sense.
Aki?
Wait, you said 2-1. That really doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense.
Hey,
0-0. 0-0 I'll go with. I won't
0-0.
be a goal fest. Although Man U are terrible, to be honest with you.
Oh,
Arsenal
so bad,
really
so
score
bad, so
one
bad.
goal.
So bad.
Okay. And I'll finish it up by saying I think Arsenal are going to win. And I think that we might be hearing some news about Amarin after the match, if that happens.
you think so?
That's
No.
my prediction.
That'd be
Nah.
crazy if they get rid of
I
him.
don't think
He's
Arsenal
they
are
haven't
going to
got-
win,
Results is
and
They haven't got the
United
money
are
to pay
going
him
to
off.
get rid of that man. That's
They
my
haven't got the
prediction.
money to pay him off.
They can't.
I personally want him to stay, but they should get rid of that
It's-
guy. Definitely.
He
But
definitely should
has to
stay.
stay.
He definitely should stay. But yeah, I can't see how they can just continue losing games. I can't see how they can do it, especially after you sack someone and then the guy you brought in is doing worse than the guy you sacked.
I'm
I
not
can't see
saying
how you can carry that on. It's mad.
I'm not saying he's doing this on purpose, right? But it's very clear the guy told them he didn't want to come mid-season, right? So
He did.
I reckon there must have been something that's been agreed because what he's doing, he genuinely, to me, seems like he's experimenting with the Manchester United team, which is
No,
crazy.
he's taking the mick.
You can't
He's
do
made,
that. Surely you can't be allowed to do that.
Keepers on
That's
the
what I'm
bench.
saying. So I don't know what's transpired, but it's almost to me from where I can't even watch their games. I couldn't watch today. I said, no, I can't do it. Sorry. But it just seems to me because I'm almost vexed. Can you imagine being vexed as a Liverpool fan for a Man United team? Like, what are you doing? Like, this guy, you're actually experimenting with a great institution. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Like genuinely just trying things. Like, I'm gonna try this just to see how it looks. So it's almost like he's trying to decide these are the guys that are definitely not gonna stay, and they definitely have to find a way out. And it's just weird. Like no result matters to him.
I hear that, but the massive risk with that is if you make those players look so rubbish, who's going to sign them? Number one.
It's weird.
Number two, you're going to have to replace them all with money that you've
Don't
spent
have
loads of money already. So that's the same Man United that are taking food away from their employees, and they're going to go out and sign 6 new players. I don't know how that's going to work. So anyway, I love to end the pod on this in Man United. It's my favorite subject. But we'll leave it there, lads, and we will see you all again, everyone, on One True Red podcast next week. And yeah, we're out. Peace.
Cheers.
Later.
Ooh.